Hi guys, and welcome to Reality with T. Thank you for joining me again for a review of Hoarders. This is from season 11, episode 2, which was almost exactly a year ago, 2020. So, as I said, I've been up watching Hoarders like back to back to back in the middle of the night when I can't sleep at night, which doesn't help my insomnia. But I swear, like I started watching Hoarders a few months ago, but I started from the beginning. So now it's almost like now they're in 2020. I skipped like some years. It's so extreme now. Like these are really good stories. I'm like, damn, this is kind of like, this is really dramatic. So I've been like so into it. So I'm gonna catch up or whatever and hopefully get some more of the current episodes. But this one was so bugged out. Okay, like so I don't know where these folks live, but basically this is about Sherry. Sherry lives with her son who's 27 years old, and they both look and live as if they look homeless. She owns a home. The daughter is the one who called Hoarders. So I guess what happened was that the daughter is used to talking to the mother, even though she acknowledges my mother hates me, can't stand me, my brother can't stand me for whatever reason. Our relationship has always been strained. She's always treated me. She's always said to me she didn't want me as a child. She's treated me as if she didn't want me, but she seems to just be a good-hearted person and feels she's obligated to help out her family. She says that she loves them and she's worried about them, the whole thing. So Sherry and the son live together, and because at some point the daughter said, I'm done taking this abuse from you, verbal abuse, whatever it was, and she just kind of left and did her own thing. So the son and her are living in, is it a 2-story home? It's a home, but you can barely, like, this is like one of the craziest homes I've ever seen. You can't really walk in. When you walk in, you have to kind of climb up into the room, and there was like an arch. So let's say to go from the living room into the next room, you have to climb, and then you have about a foot difference between the arch and the junk, and you kind of have to like get on your stomach and slide or crawl in to get to the next room. So their hoard is about 6 or 7 feet tall. So Sherry takes them in, and she's like, well, this is what I'm used to. This is my life. This is how I grew up. You know what I mean? But at some point, I guess she was somewhere and realized this isn't normal. And then she went off to try to look for a normal life. So either way, the entire house is filled like this. And you go up to the bedrooms. He has a place to work on his computers, but it's like in a hole. So he's got to like climb up and down to get into where he has a hole. They don't really sleep in their beds, from what I understand. Like they're just like sleeping on junk. Like it's disgusting. It's disgusting. And you're kind of like, what is going on with these folks? The sister explains that her brother has always been obsessed with their mother. And she described a situation when they were younger, about 6, and she said it was something strange that he said to her, and it was kind of like she realized like he's really obsessed with her. And then we see this played out because he's enabling her. He says she's the hoarder, it's out of control, blah, blah, blah. At some point, he does admit that he's also a hoarder, but everything he says yes. And the daughter says, you're just saying yes because you don't want her to stop loving you. Basically, you're afraid that she's going to withdraw her love. So the mother explains as to why she does this hoarding stuff is that, number one, she wants to, basically it's a fort. She wants to keep everybody out. It's her way to keep safe. It's her way to keep warm. The more she keeps up and packs up, nobody can come into her home. We never get to the bottom of this, which is what I would have liked the psychologist to do. Again, I think that they're leaving us here with a lot of unanswered questions. Who are you protecting yourself from? The way it presents is as if there's something traumatic that happened in her past. It could be a rape. Is the daughter a product of a rape? That's why she hates her so much and treats the son so differently. Was it something traumatic that happened where maybe her home was robbed, maybe her safety at some point was put in danger, and now she feels she has to protect herself from the outside world, and this is how she's going to do it. The son is validating this. He's saying, she's doing this to protect herself, or I'm here to protect her, the whole thing, right? So everything that she says, the son goes with it. They are so used to living in this disgustingness and chaos, and she even admits we live like we're homeless, that it's normal to them, and they're defending it. And she's also very loud and combative and difficult to work with, but then finally allows them to, go into the home and start to take some stuff out. But it's always a back and forth about certain things, like, oh, what about this shirt? Basically, she also has a lot of clothes because she says she doesn't have a washing machine. So instead of finding a laundromat or somewhere to wash her clothes, she just buys more, I guess from a thrift store, whatever, gets more and just adds to the pile. So we know that you're not functioning on a normal level, because that doesn't make any sense. You would rather just hoard and make your house look like this instead of just getting clean clothes. You know what I mean? They also I don't believe they have a working toilet and shower. I don't think they're showering every day, and they didn't ask them where they shower. That's important to know. But they both look like they're smelly. I believe the house was smelly. All those things are going to keep people away. Okay. So now we have Mr. Corey come, and he is the organizer, the person to pull everything out. And I like Corey because in the beginning, he's kind of like, okay, I'm gonna try to work with you. Do you want this? We have to make some decisions. After day 2 or so, when he's still getting all this like back and forth with the client, he's just kind of over it. He's like, okay, like I see stuff that I'm trying to get rid of. Like, let me just get in here and get rid of it. You know what I mean? Like he's kind of over all the emotional stuff. At some point, he'll just be like, listen, he'll call the psychologist, David, can you please come talk to her because I can't take this crap no more. And then you can see his frustration. He's like, I can't take this. The son starts talking. The son and the mother both kind of like double talk and over talk, and it never really connects. And I wonder what that's about. I don't know if the son has some sort of a developmental disability, or if the mother does, or they have a mental health issue. I mean, obviously they're mental health issues, but it's like what they're saying doesn't connect. You know what I mean? They're trying to rationalize and justify, but it doesn't really ever quite get there. And then this is what makes Corey upset. At some point, the daughter walks in, she's talking to her brother saying, listen, you have to start, being stern with mom. You have to make her make decisions. If she comes to you and says, should I keep this? Don't say yes. Tell her no. There's no reason to keep it. So while she's saying this, the brother is like touching her shoulder, all like passive aggressively, touching her shoulder nicely, but at the same time saying, I hate you. You're a bitch. Don't come, you should leave. We don't want you here, type of a thing. The same time, the mother says to her, can you please get out of my life and not come back? But then later she'll say, like, I wish you spent more time with me. Like, there's a lot of emotional abuse that this girl is taking. And while they're saying these things to her, while he's rubbing her shoulder saying, bitch, get out of here, and smiling at the same time, she's not responding. She's just kind of like, no, but you need to, she's still talking about like, no, you need to make these decisions. She is so used to being talked to like this and treated like this that it is completely normal. She said this was her whole childhood. She didn't get upset. She didn't walk away. She didn't cry. She didn't say anything back. There was no rebuttal. She is just used to being treated like crap by her mother and brother, which is insane. A lot of the hoarders, they get upset, they yell, they lash out, the whole thing. But this was so creepy and just like, it was so, at some point, the psychologist said, listen, when he called her B, he was like, that's inappropriate. We're not going to name call. And he said, listen, keep your hands to yourself. And he's like, no, I'm touching her. That's a comforting touch. It's a comforting touch when you're also calling her a B and telling her to leave and get out of your life. Like, the whole thing is just like, this whole family dynamic is completely twisted. They're all warped. Even the nice lady, because the way she took it and the fact that she kept coming back, like even the psychologist said, I'm surprised you keep coming back. And she was like, I'm just stupid. And he's like, well, I think you're brave and courageous. And I think that's what we're supposed to say. But what is it that she's just like, I do love them. I'm doing what I think I'm supposed to do for my family because I do care about them. But this is how I've been treated my entire life, which is incredibly sad. And incredibly sad that she doesn't see that she's worth more. Like, it doesn't matter, mother, brother, whoever, if you're that toxic to me regularly, there would be no drive for me to come back and be around you. I would let you die up in that crappy hoard of a house. You know what I mean? Because you told her, I don't want you to be in my life. Oh, let me backtrack also to the beginning. They talked about the reason that they have this whole code violation thing is because, she was calling the mother. I think I started that way. I didn't finish that conversation. But she didn't answer, so she got concerned and sent a wellness check. When the police go, they knock on the door, make sure everybody's alive and safe. This happened in the middle of the night. The mother and the brother were going crazy about it. Like, number one, it was like they'd never heard of a wellness check before. So it's like, No, that's when you call the police and then they go make sure everybody's okay. But the brother is like, he's yelling into the confessional to the producers, and he's like, she calls and does a wellness check. What the F is a wellness check? And why would you do that? And they saw it as like the biggest betrayal to have the police come and knock on the door and make sure they're okay. And I think that's because this whole hoard situation was supposed to be hidden. They're ashamed of it. It's their life. Now you've sent somebody else into our life. Now somebody else has a say about the way we're living, and now we're going to be in trouble. So they saw that, the mother and the brother, as the biggest betrayal. That is what they hold against her. They're like, I don't want to see her. I don't want anything to do with her because she sent a wellness check on us. Instead of seeing it as if she was worried about us, she loves us, she wanted to make sure we're good, they see it as betrayal. She sent somebody into this space that we had, into our junk, and now it has ruined our lives. So they're going to keep holding this against her. Either way, moving forward, they ended up taking out a whole lot of junk after so much back and forth. The fourth day comes and the daughter finally breaks down. You know, that's when she said, I think I'm stupid, because she's just crying, like the emotional abuse. But it's a weird cry because she's kind of smiling, she's crying. She has a weird demeanor about her as well. I can't put my finger on what it is that's a little different about it. But I can imagine, I mean, she's been dealing with a lot of trauma her entire life. But you know, they actually get some of the house clean, they get some rooms clean, they look at the mother's, I think it's the mother's bedroom, and they have all these synthesizers and radios and old TVs and screens. They said, this is non-negotiable, you cannot touch anything in here. So they're like, what do you need these old box TVs for and screens? And they're like, well, if I clean it up, the value will probably be around $80,000 to $100,000. Are you kidding me? Even Corey was like, oh my goodness, like this is ridiculous. But I think at this point they didn't want to fight anymore. He said, whatever, we're not going to touch this room. That's fine. We're going to leave all these synthesizers here. So basically they were able to clean out one bedroom, and now there are two queen size beds next to each other in this room. And for now, until they clean out whatever other room, the mother and the 27-year-old son have to sleep together in the bedroom, which is also inappropriate and whatever. During this time, they were also taking clothes out of the home and they're stuffing it under a tarp into a car. So the car is now filled to the brim. This is all the clothes they want to keep on the side. And then they were talking about, we're about to go take a drive away for 2 days because this is too much. This is the son saying, my mother can't take it. It's too much for her. So we're going to take a break. What are you doing? Like, he treats her like that's his girlfriend. She treats him like that's her husband or her man. Why is he 27, not working, living in a house with his mother, living like this? Why is all this okay? I think at some point he said somebody was his friend that showed up, and it's like, how can you have friends and you're living like this? Like, is this like an online friend, like a, you know, like a, I don't know, like a PlayStation friend, like over the headset friend? I don't know. The whole thing was very strange. I will say that it was very, very strange. I believe the ending credits said that the daughter, they said the daughter is dead to us, which is crazy to say about your daughter who's trying to help you. The brother seems already like he's completely out of it, but like for a mother to say that about a daughter, I want to know, get to the bottom of what she did so bad that you hate her so much. And I'm sure that they're going to hoard again. I don't know how much the behavior has changed. I want to know what's going on with the son. Like, why is he still living there? Like, why is he not functioning and living a normal life? Like, or did he just take on his mother's mental health issues? I don't know. The whole thing is really strange. Let me know what you think. Take a look at it. Either way, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you for the next video. Bye-bye.